before we officially start our show, can everyone see us? Because YouTube is being really, really wonky and weird.
Sometimes technology is wonderful. Sometimes it's a royal pain in the
Yeah,
butt.
so you guys let us know in the chat. Oh, I think we are going, actually.
Are we?
I think
Okay,
so.
I think you're getting us, but I'm not getting us.
Waiting for confirmation from our live audience.
Aha! I see us!
Okay, fantastic. All right, you can see and hear us.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody. Okay, let's do a proper introduction. Hey, everybody, welcome to Movie Couple Live, the show where we talk about the latest in movie news and pop culture. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And welcome to today's show. Today, we are talking about the Marvel Disney Plus series WandaVision gets a sequel.
A new Lord of the Rings movie is slated for 2026.
And Disney's exclusive Club 33 is going to get the movie treatment.
Also, Tiana's Bayou Adventure has a confirmed opening date.
Unfortunately, only for Orlando, Florida. But we'll talk about all this and more coming up on today's show. Hey, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Is today Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. It's
Happy
hard
Wednesday.
to remember which day it is with all the stuff that's been going on. But yes, today is Wednesday, so happy, wonderful Wednesday.
Before we get into anything else, should we just tell them what you've been dealing with?
So the last couple of days I have been out of commission because, I got food poisoning. So I am still a little under the weather. So if you see me a little flushed or a little sweaty, that is why.
Sweaty.
I'm still not in tip-top shape, but I'm good enough to be able to hang with you guys, talk some movie, talk some geekiness.
Yeah.
So that always makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm seeing in the chat right
Drinking
now.
lots of liquids.
Liquid IV is helping. This is it's a commercial, but it's also not because I bought him Pedialyte, which is very helpful.
I drank that.
He drank really quickly, and then I was like, oh, do I need to go to the store and get more? And he's like, I think I'm good with Liquid IV. And I was like, all right, because one of the things I was hesitant was I was like, oh, but it has sugar in it, but we also have the sugar-free version.
Yep.
Which is what we're able to use for him. So if you guys want to check out Liquid IV, I know the weather should be warming up soon. Everywhere in the States, I guess, if you're on this hemisphere.
Yep.
So if you want to check out Liquid IV, you can use our code TheMovieCouple, which will get you from the Liquid IV website, not Amazon or anywhere else. If you shop directly from their website, put in our code, which should give you 20% off plus free shipping. It's an evergreen code, so you can use it to reuse our own code.
Yeah.
Because we literally, because we go through it so quickly sometimes that we just buy our own with our own code. Anyways, now that you're feeling better, we're gonna keep this stream a little bit shorter than our usual hour, just because
even though we got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about today. And if you're not able to catch us live on the YouTube channel, you're also able to catch us on Spotify, where we do publish a lot of our content. So head on over to Spotify and give us a 5-star rating.
Yes, and that'll help us reach a wider audience. And of course, if you want to catch us via VOD, audio only, you have that option on Spotify. If you want to watch us, you can do that too. So with that said, a couple new things on the channel, review-wise, as reactions, I think we're kind of waiting for new shows to drop, like The Acolyte and The Boys season 4.
I'm excited about both of those.
Yeah.
Super excited for The Boys. Super excited for The Acolyte.
We do have to finish The Bad Batch. I know we're only on episode 6, so we will be finishing those.
We have filmed a couple more besides episode 6. We just haven't edited them. That's the big problem, is the editing.
It is. And then movie reviews we have out for Garfield, the Garfield movie, Babes, and Back to Black. So please check those out if you are looking for some movie recommendations. All right, let's go ahead and get into our first topic. Let's talk about Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which will open in Disney World only for now on June 28th. I am so happy, but also so bummed that it's going to be opening, because it's right there. It's one flight away, right? That we can just go.
Yeah.
But at the same
Hop, skip,
time,
and jump away.
It's going to be super crowded.
Oh yeah.
When it opens, but with all the animatronics, like the footage that they're showing us, it looks gorgeous. It looks super fun.
And honestly, I've seen a lot of the clips of the different characters that they have on the rides for the animatronics. Yeah, Tiana looks great. The one that I thought looked really, really cool was Mama Odie.
Oh, really?
Because Mama Odie's dancing and everything. And I'm like, I love Mama Odie. I think she's a great character.
Yeah.
So much fun. And I just cannot wait to see this ride.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm really hoping that they do, because one of the big problems with Splash Mountain was that when you're in the ride, it is really, really dark. And you don't get to enjoy all of the cool settings and all of the cool animatronics that they had. But I'm hoping with this new rendition of the ride, it's going to be a little bit more well lit. You get to see all of these awesome animatronics. And it looks like they're really, the Imagineers are putting their best foot forward on this ride. So I'm excited for it to open. I'm probably going to wait until it opens up here in Los Angeles.
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Yeah.
True. Here in California.
There you go.
But I think it's a really cool addition, and we've been actually, every time we've gone to Disney, been kind of looking over and been like, hey, how you guys doing? And Fresh Baked recently did a video that they're actually testing the chute now.
Oh, they
so
are?
So they're launching some of the logs, some of the ride carts down that ramp to test out the slide.
That sounds like fun.
I'm like, even though it opens in Florida on June 28th, I'm pretty sure the one here in California will be opening soon.
Yeah, I hope so. But also, like, if it opens in the summer, you and I can't even go because we're blocked out with our Magic Key. But we also wouldn't.
We wouldn't be going anyways because one,
it's too packed.
Disney during summer, it's hot, it's packed, people get grumpy,
Yes.
and plus, you're going to have probably 2 new rides open. You're going to have Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and right next door, you're going to have the Haunted Mansion, which is also going to be reopening from its refurbishment.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's that area, a whole new line queue, a new store. So there's a lot of cool stuff. I'm super excited to go back to Disneyland once our passes are once we're not blocked out.
Yeah. So before we move on to the next topic, we're super excited about it, obviously, but there was a comment from the live chat that I want to see. Okay, I think it was from Mode Man 101 writes, Tiana's beignet adventure. Did you know? I don't know if you read through the entire, because I sent you like 40 articles this morning.
What the ride's actually about?
Well, it's gonna smell like beignets the entire ride through, which I think is one super smart, because at least that's how it works. That's how it works, like in the SoCal park, is that when you exit, they don't exit you into a beignet shop, but they could do. But there is like that little stand next to it's the New Orleans Cafe, or is it the French
Mint Julep Bar?
The Mint Julep Bar, which is like attached to the French Quarter or French whatever it's called, right there, and you can like go and order your like 3-pack of beignets. You can order your 6-pack of beignets, and it's
24-pack.
Is that available?
You just get, enough 6
Oh, just get
packs.
multiple. I see. But yeah, that's super smart. And I love how Disney utilizes the smell. I don't think I've ever have experienced them utilizing a smell on their rides. I'm trying really hard to think, other than like maybe like Muppets Vision.
Oh yeah,
when they used to pump,
that's
like,
right.
But that's a theater show. It's not a ride.
I don't think they've actually ever used
done that.
Smell on a ride before. But the whole point of this ride, the story behind it, is the fact that you're supposed to be going on this adventure with Tiana to find special ingredients for all of her recipes. So it makes sense that they're going to utilize smell, and I cannot wait to see how much they've also trained Critter Country around. Yeah. Because I think they're going to do a little bit with Pooh's Corner there. I mean, they're still going to have Winnie the Pooh the ride.
Yes.
But that little bakery store that they have over there, I cannot wait to see what kind of goodies they have for sale there, because I love myself some Disney goodies.
Heck yeah. I mean, I feel like most of the times now when we go to Disney, we are going there to eat rather than like go on rides. We eat and people watch rather than go on rides. But we do try to make sure we go on an adequate
What are some of
amount
your
rides.
guys' favorite stuff to eat at Disneyland? Whether it be a beignet, a churro,
Turkey leg.
turkey legs. We know Navi's favorite thing is a turkey leg.
I don't know if they heard about that story.
We're not.
I think they have. She basically, we had like we brought a turkey leg home from Disneyland because we live under an hour away, and we like shared one, and then we left the plate with the turkey leg bone like on the table just for a second. We both got up to like wash hands or something like that. Now Navi does not usually get on the couch without an invitation from us. She has to get the okay. We also don't feed her human food other than like maybe some carrots here and there, celery and etc. So she's like not used to human food at all. And we heard this, well, you heard it first. You heard like a clank and you're like, what's going on? So he goes back out to the living room first, and all I hear from our bedroom was, Navi, no! I'm like, oh gosh, what's happening? And I run back outside. The plate's on the floor, the bone's on the floor. Navi's just like, why? She was going at it.
She did not stop. And she was like, I don't care if you're yelling. She was like she was watching me, but going at the bone. And she was just like, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are so many delicious things at Disneyland. Like right now during Pixar Fest, they have some really good food. And yes, Mode Man, Dole Whip. All the way. Dole Whip is like one of the Dole Whip is amazing. I
will say the Florida ones are better than the California ones.
Yeah,
but we get the better churro.
I do love the fact that they now have so much more selection at the Tropical Hideaway.
Yeah, they have like strawberry. We got this cherry one once.
Yeah,
which it has not resurfaced.
It was a watermelon cherry, I think, for Valentine's Day.
So good.
So good.
Yeah. Now I'm like salivating because I want to go back. All right, we've spent entirely too much time on this topic, so let's go ahead and get into talking about the Marvel shows for at least 2026. So WandaVision, it's been confirmed that we are getting a sequel. We all wondered, hey, what happened to Vision? He just flew out of the White Vision, as you guys saw from the thumbnail for today's show. He just went up and flew out of there, and we've heard not a single peep about White Vision at all. Through all the other shows, through all the other movies, not a single mention. So I've been wondering what's going to happen. So it looks like the new series is going to evolve around New Vision, I guess, and confirmed to be in development at Marvel Studios, and it's going to start finally like expanding all of its Disney Plus Marvel shows with sequels, starting with WandaVision, which is kind of the first Marvel
series. Really was. It was the first Marvel series that came out. That's the one that so many people tuned into. And I was, for the longest time, going, oh, are they going to bring White Vision back? Are they going to talk about White Vision? Are they going to talk about this? Are they going to move on to this? Well, are they going to mention it in Multiverse of Madness? Never talking about it. And I'm like, come on. What happened? It's like this, the fact that it's the first Marvel movie, the Marvel TV show that came out on Disney Plus, and you know, Loki. Don't get me wrong, I loved Loki season 1 and season 2, but the fact that we still haven't we got the announcement for Hawkeye 2 before we got the announcement for WandaVision 2.
Yeah.
So I'm just really curious on what's going on with these characters.
Yeah, and obviously, like you just mentioned, WandaVision we've already seen. Oh, that is a super chat. We will get to that in just a second. I think it was Marvin Martin. Thank you so much for your super chat. I can see recommendations already. So we're going to get to it at the bottom of this topic. But yeah, we kind of already have seen what's going on with, you know, the Scarlet Witch. Mm-hmm. Whether or not she returns in the sequel series, that is, we don't know yet. I feel like she could afford to make an appearance either in ways of a cameo, like a flashback.
I think that's probably where we'll see her more.
Yeah, because she's dead.
Yeah, but it's a comic book movie. No one ever really dies.
I also don't think a powerful being like Wanda is going to... Oh, another super chat. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Jojo, the boy hero. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, like she's super powerful. So I can't imagine her being bested by a building.
Yeah.
You know.
And the thing is, too, also, I think this one, from the sound of it, it's going to focus a lot more on White Vision. And if I'm not mistaken, from the comic books, with the thing about White Vision is that he has all of the memories and all of the he's retained all of that, but he doesn't have the emotions. Since he does not have the Mind Stone, he does not have that human element to him. So he's still very much a machine, and he's even tried to, rekindle a relationship before with Wanda, and it just did not work for him. So I'm wondering if there's going to be that struggle of him going, hey, because if they're going to focus on him trying to be like, well, you're right, I should be a part of this relationship, but he's like, but I just don't have any emotions. So I'm really curious on how they're going to handle that.
Yeah, and by going off of that, I wonder if we're going to get sort of like the soul-searching journey for White Vision.
Yeah.
And we'll see. So according to Variety, Paul Bettany is obviously going to be returning for the 2026 series. I just can't imagine anybody else in the role.
Exactly.
So the series will feature Star Trek Picard executive producer Terry Matalas as its showrunner, and the series will take place after the events of WandaVision. And then the article goes on to say, previously it has been reported that WandaVision head writer Jack Jeffer was overseeing the project, with rumors that the Vision series has been canceled, emerging last October. However, it seems like it just went through some showrunner changes.
Okay.
So I feel like, those conversations are super fluid, and it's always moving. It's like, oh, I don't know, do we have a good story to tell? Maybe we should just shelve it. Oh, no, we can do this. Let's just, bring some other people on board. Other people pick up projects. They get busy, whatever it may be. But I am just overall very happy that we are getting a continuation for in my opinion, one of the best Marvel Disney Plus series to exist. Like, I'm happy that Loki got one.
Yeah.
Loki was very good. Sometimes I think about it and I think season 2 I liked better than season 1.
Yes, that's very
it's
true.
just so good. So I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with WandaVision. I want to go to our super chat right now. Let's go to Jojo the Boy Hero because it's kind of related to this topic. He writes, isn't Wanda a powerful witch in WandaVision? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And well, that's in WandaVision is where she actually kind of like understands her powers a little bit more, where she learns about what's going on. But that's also because of Agatha. Agatha was, and that's another thing. I'm wondering if they're going to bring up Wanda in Agatha all along, or if they're going to even mention a little bit of Vision in Agatha all along. Because if they're able to kind of bring in Wanda a little bit, then bring in a little bit of Vision, then for the next WandaVision show, for WandaVision 2, is it actually called WandaVision, or is it focusing solely on a little bit more on Vision?
So the Variety article is calling it a Vision series.
That's what I thought.
But it would be a sequel to WandaVision because it's coming off of the events of that.
Okay.
So it's may not have the same name, and obviously I think if Wanda is not going to be in it, I don't think they should call it WandaVision. I think it's going to give a false sense of like, oh, we're going to see Elizabeth Olsen in this all the time, and it's going to have that same vibe of like going through different eras, which was like so smart. But I feel like that the way they did that show was kind of like a one and done.
Yeah. Because
then if you go back and try to do it again, it feels a little, I don't want to say gimmicky, but you're repeating what we've already seen. And without Wanda there, that doesn't make sense. It could maybe work with Agatha, but I think it is gonna be like a Vision series.
And a couple people in the chat are actually saying that they have seen it being called Vision Quest.
Oh!
And that's right. And I'm part of me's like,
I remember
that's
that now.
right. I remember hearing that.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But so yeah, seeing how it is going to focus a lot more on Vision, I'm really curious to see, what does he decide to do? Does he actually? I think in the comic book he focuses on, being a superhero and saving humanity.
Isn't this how we get West Coast Avengers too?
I think so.
Yeah.
I have not read those comics in, I could say, decades.
I also want to know, since we're kind of talking about another aspect of the show, that there is also rumor for a Hawkeye 2, but that is not confirmed. that is just a rumor. So if we get one, great. But I don't know. I feel like he kind of hung up his bow and arrow by the end of that to like really enjoy his family life, and it looked like Kate Bishop would be kind of the next at helm. So if they did do sort of a spin-off / sequel for Hawkeye, I think they'd have to call it like Kate Bishop or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it really did too look like they were working more towards the Young Avengers.
Yes.
In there. So I'm curious if they're going to do something more like that for Hawkeye 2. And Hawkeye is going to be kind of like just the mentor.
And then speaking of Disney Plus shows, just in case you're looking for something to watch, MK Songbird writes, I had completely forgotten, but the Marvel Studios Assembled X-Men 97 episode was released today.
Ooh,
we gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch that.
We love that show so much.
I cannot tell you just how much I geeked out on that show from beginning to end. A little side rant, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat or anyone who's watching this has seen that series just because we've talked about it so much. But go see it. I'm going to probably rewatch it again soon.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and rewatch like the original.
Yeah.
Before we move on to our next topic, we want to jump back to Marvin Martin's recommendation / super chat. Thank you so much. Marvin writes, Michael R. Miller's Song of Chaos, and it's about a boy and his blind dragon. Monoquill? I'm totally saying that wrong. Black Gooses, I can't even attempt to say that name because I'm gonna mess it up. That sounds weird. But in parentheses, Marvin writes, Pocahontas Dragon Rider Hogwarts. That's the vibe.
Oh.
Look, I'm always looking for new books to read. I am currently trying to finish, if anybody out there is reading the LOTR series, I'm trying to finish Silver Flames. I have like maybe an hour left. And then I am trying to read the 4th Bridgerton book, which is based on Penelope and Colin's story. And then I am also trying to read Three Body Problem, which is a completely different vibe than the other 2 books. And I'm feeling a little bit of like depression from the lack of Fourth Wing / Iron Flames. Because like the amount of screaming into the book I had with that series, it's so good. So I'm happy to get book recommendations to kind of fill the void until January. So thank you to Marvin.
I'm still working on Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. Those are huge books. Yeah. Those are like 50 some odd hours on Audible.
Wow.
So they take some time to get through.
Yeah, that's crazy. Moving on to our next topic, Club 33, which I think even if you don't go to Disneyland, if you're not a big Disney fan, it doesn't matter. I think most people have heard about it. Club 33 is a very exclusive, members-only club that exists in Disneyland. I don't know, do they have one in Disney World? They have to, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I would hate for you to pay like tens of thousands of dollars a year for the membership and only be able to go to it if you're on the West Coast.
I find this very weird. I mean, because...
Oh, wait, but we didn't explore the title.
Oh, sorry.
So, Club 33 is getting the movie treatment. It's going to be getting it from the Goosebumps writer Darren Lemke and Sean Levy's 21 Laps.
So, I mean, okay. Honestly, I've always been interested in Club 33. My older brother was actually able to go a few times because he had in-laws that actually had connections that were able to get him in, and I was always so jealous.
I want to go so bad. I just want to go once just to look inside. Because you can't take pictures inside.
Nope, not allowed to.
You're allowed to take photos of your food, whatever you order.
So it's very
exclusive, yeah.
But, I mean, it's always had that prestige to it. It's always had that mystery behind it.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if anyone's ever asked for a movie on Club 33. But of course, this is the same thing that I thought when they were like, oh, we're going to make a movie off of Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You're going to make a movie off of a ride? Are you kidding me? But honestly, my first thought when I saw this article and I was reading this was, what are you guys, how hard are you guys reaching for material? I mean, I think there's a whole bunch of other things that you guys could do, but I'm going to be I'm hoping that I'm happily surprised, or what is that called? That they're able to surprise me, that I'm able to be, that I'm wrong.
It's interesting for sure, like, because it's, aside from like our basic knowledge of Club 33 is that it's an exclusive club, members only. There's a wait list to even become a member. You can't just like, even if you have the money, you can't just throw money at it and just be like, I'm in. Like there's a long wait list, and I think you have to be on the wait list at this point for years before you can even get in. But here is what they're saying about Club 33 and what it's going to be, and that's kind of something that's got me curious. So the project is set to exude the tone and vibes of Clue and Night at the Museum, which is Sean Levi's own fantasy adventure trilogy set in the museum where all the things come to life. So the story for the story for the Club 33 movie is going to be centered on I don't know where I got the woman from, because we don't know. A young aspiring detective who receives a mysterious invite to the highly selective Club 33. So there's your tie-in right there. In this case, it's a magical and exclusive dining club whose members are the greatest and most iconic figures from across history. When a murder is committed on the premise, the patrons look to the young detective to solve it. It sounds like Murder on the Orient Express, but like kind of Agatha Christie.
But instead of what's his name,
the Onion, Perrault.
It's going to be like a new up and coming detective as opposed to the veteran where everyone's like, oh, we have a murder. Let's have the expert detective.
Yeah.
We have a murder. Oh, hey, we have this new detective.
Hey, well, you happen to be here, so I guess can you solve the crime? Hey, see, let us go, see. The transatlantic accent.
Well, that kind of works. But, I mean, I guess you can take any setting and put in a good story, get some good actors, get a good writer, and you can actually have a pretty fun and entertaining movie. Since Club 33 does have such a mysterious air to it.
Yeah.
You're given a lot of leeway. I mean, what was it? Someone in the chat said earlier that just said, I thought Club 33 was a myth.
See?
But
no, it's true. We've
really
seen people wait for it in front of the thing. They're dressed, you have to be dressed up to go.
And we've had friends that went.
Yeah, and you like ring the bell, and then they confirm your reservation, and only then can you enter. And like they do not. The reason why it's so exclusive and like you don't really ever see things because there's limited video and photographs that are allowed within Club 33. So you don't really get to see what it is. But everybody who tells me that they, have like visited, it's really awesome and everything's great. I know people that's gone like multiple times. I'm like, who are you friends with?
And how much money do you make?
Yeah.
It was Leo. So Leo said, I thought Club 33 was a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's
real.
It's for real. So I do like the premise of the story. I think that sounds interesting, and I think that they kind of sold me on the fact that it has the tone and vibe of Clue and Night at the Museum. I don't love all the Night at the Museum movies, but I really like the first one.
The first one was really good.
That was really fun, and like I like Sean's visions, and I think he's done several projects that I'm like, I'm into it. He's doing Deadpool 3. Mm-hmm. Makes sense that he's working with Disney again on something else. He's not directing. He's just, I think, like writing for it. But I think it's kind of a wait and see situation. It is interesting. I caught somebody else in the comments saying something about another like Disney element that they could have made the movie out of. And I think I might have to scroll a little bit. So let me see if I can find it quickly before we have to move on. Okay. MK says Galactic Star Cruiser movie next. That's a full documentary.
Oh,
they need to do a full, but it won't be done by Disney. It has to be done by like somebody else.
Yeah, to see exactly what happened, where things went wrong. But I'm wondering if they're going to make a documentary off of that, or if they're going to make a Galactic Star Cruiser movie to where it's the events that happen on the Galactic Star Cruiser but turned into movie format.
Yes. There was another comment, but I can't see it. So maybe it's a little bit too far back, unfortunately. But yeah. So interesting. We will update you guys, through what is it?
Mode Man. Monorail, the movie.
Oh. People Mover, the movie.
The People Mover, the movie.
There's a lot of things. They could do a Thunder Mountain movie.
Oh, a Space Mountain.
A Space Mountain one? That's Buzz Lightyear.
Well, no. But like one based off of Space Mountain.
No, I know. That would be cool. I I don't know. I think there could be a story for Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn.
Bigfoot's right there.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think, take the story that they have in Paris for Big Thunder Mountain and combine it with a new telling of the Haunted Mansion, because that story is dark. If you guys ever get a chance to go to Paris, I have not gotten a chance to go yet. I want to go so bad.
Oh, they did the Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah, the Jungle Cruise.
Duh. Yeah.
So Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I still need to hear more about this before I can actually get excited about it. It just seems kind of weird and an interesting choice for them to make it out of making a movie out of a restaurant.
Yeah. Well, so we will see. Oh, MK also wrote Tower of Terror. Also.
Oh yeah.
But was that inspired by the Twilight Zone? Or is it the other way around?
No, it was inspired by the Twilight. It was originally a Twilight Zone theme.
But they could do another. They could just call it Tower of Terror movie.
Yeah, I think there's a couple.
Wait, there isn't there? I think the Hollywood Hotel, which is It's real.
You've been there.
It's creepy.
It's super creepy.
The hallways. It gave me I don't get really freaked out that easily. And this was during the day too. I walked down. We were shooting something there, and I was walking down the hallway, and I'm like, I don't feel right. I'm leaving. So anyways, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. We're talking about, maybe this one can get us a little bit more excited, a new Lord of the Rings movie slated for a 2026 release. It's going to be called The Hunt for Gollum. It will be directed by Gollum himself, Andy Serkis.
And also starring, he's going to be reprising his role as Gollum.
Yes.
Which, if you got anyone else but Andy Serkis to play Gollum,
why would
people would riot.
Yeah.
Because you can't do Gollum without Andy Serkis. Honestly, though, my opinion of this, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm that interested in hearing a story about Gollum. We kind of know Gollum's story. A hobbit-like creature that found the ring, went into the mountains and hid, and then got found by Bilbo. I guess there is a lot of time that does take place between him finding the ring, what happens to him until he actually gets shunned by his group that makes him go off and hide in the mountains.
Yeah.
And what happens in the mountains. But it's also saying the hunt for Gollum. So I guess it also might be the minions of Sauron looking for Gollum.
Yeah.
And that sounds like an interesting movie, but a part of me is also like, we kind of know that arc. We know Gollum's story pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious on what new they could tell us, what new they can bring to the character of Gollum to make us not just be like, okay, it's the same Gollum that we kind of know and love from Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, but I'm interested. I'm curious.
Yeah.
But I'm a little like, I thought there's so many other stories I feel like they could have picked from the Silmarillion, other things.
People have been saying that for years.
Yeah,
for years.
More Silmarillion stuff.
Yeah.
That they could tell. It's the next the property that's coming out at the end of this year that I'm really excited about, because apparently due in December 13th of this year, there's going to be an animated Middle-earth movie called Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim. And I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome.
It's set 200 years before the events of The Hobbit. So that's again not, it exists in the books, but it has not been put on the big screen or any screen as of yet, aside from that's no one really knows, unless if they're just kind of their knowledge for Lord of the Rings only exist in movies and or the TV show on Prime Video, then that's what they know. So that's it. I'm with you. I'm a little bit more, I love Andy Serkis, and I think what he's done for Gollum is tremendous, and no one else would ever be Gollum in my eyes ever. Nope. So I will obviously definitely go and see The Hunt for Gollum, because I'm interested to see what they do with it. But I am more excited about the animated movie for the War of the Rohirrim.
That one just sounds like you have, it sounds more epic. It sounds more of a clash of nations. You have good versus evil. You have a king. You have armies. You can have these epic battles. So it sounds like, the War of the Rohirrim is going to be a more epic movie, a more epic story that you can tell,
Yes.
as opposed to looking for Gollum.
The animators, somebody in the chat was asking, Jamal was asking, who was doing the animation? So this is done by WB, and the director, so I don't know, like, if they're outsourcing, like, you know, another animation company to do this or not, but the director is Kenji Kamiyama, who has done films like the 2009 Eden of the East. Let's see what else he did. Ghost in the Shell in 2006. He did The Napping Princess, Ghost in the Shell 2005, 2006.
He did a lot of
Ghost in the Shell. So I feel like...
Oh, wait, was that Fire and Ice? Oh, no, that was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Because there was an old 80s cartoon, Fire and Ice, that was just... It was an interesting kind of animation.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, so, you know, he's the director. I don't know if they're taking like a more anime approach to it. I would not be opposed.
Oh no, me neither.
But we will see. I'm like everything that I'm hearing so far about the animated movie, I am excited about. So you guys let us know your thoughts in the chats, in the comments after the show if you're watching us on VOD or listening to us on Spotify. Like let us know. And what other Lord of the Rings storyline would you have liked to hear? You know, we got the Rings of Power that's coming back for a second season on Prime Video. We've got...
Well, that
was it, right?
Yeah, that's all that we've gotten.
Yeah, so far.
One of the stories I would love to, I think would make a really good animated film would be the Ballad of Beren and Luthien, which is the first elf and human who fell in love with each other.
See?
And that's actually Elrond's mother and father.
See, I would not mind exploring that. You know, whether they do it as a animated series or like a straight to streaming kind of a movie, something like that. I think that would be cool. Modeman says Fire and Ice was from the same director as the 1978 Lord of the Rings animated film.
Yep.
Is that The Hobbit?
No, there was actually a Lord of the Rings movie, and the storyline went from the Lord of the Rings to the end of the Battle of Helm's Deep. And they ended it there because they never made another one.
She just left everybody hanging. Like,
pretty
you
much.
Want to find out? Read the book.
But then what they did is that the guy who did I don't know the names of the people who did the animation for The Hobbit, which is the one I grew up and loved.
Yeah, same.
Then they made their style of animation to kind of finish out Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That picked up relatively close from where the Lord of the Rings in the 1978 one ended. But yeah, it ended very abruptly, and people were like, wait,
what happens next?
What's going on? You didn't talk about the ring. What happened with the ring?
Time to read the books and find out. There are no commercial breaks in books. Going back to the live chat for some of you guys' comments before we end today's show. Sean says, I would love an animated backstory of Smaug, the dragon.
Yes. That would actually be fun to see, because all you hear about is just how legendary this dragon is. But what is it that actually made him so legendary? Yeah. You know, so I would love, that would be a really interesting story. And also some of the stories of the gods that are involved in Lord of the Rings, to see how Gandalf was actually first came into being, his story with all of the different gods. I would love to see a lot of that. Yeah. You know, but, you know, slowly but surely, there's plenty of time, you know, I just would love to see it sooner or later.
Yeah, same. We have another comment from Galaxy Geeks who writes, I'd love to see a story around who was over Sauron originally. And then, what about something like Smeagol Stays Out of Trouble for the working title? That sounds like a sitcom.
Yeah. You can just have like, that's Smeagol.
Well, it's like the Family Matters type of...
You gotta give him like one of those lines like, did I do that?
Oh God.
My precious. Oh, my precious.
All right, you guys. Well, that brings us to the end of today's show. Sorry it's so short, but we are planning to film a couple more things after, and I know he's still recovering from the food poisoning, so I just want to like make sure we take it pretty easy today. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. This video will be available again on Spotify's VOD. If you would like to check us out there, you can watch audio only or with video. It's totally up to you. And then we've got Furiosa review coming up later today. I just have to film it and edit. But yeah, that movie comes out later this week, so that's something for you guys to look forward to. It's super fun. I had a great time with it. That's all I'll say. You have to, listen to the rest of my thoughts in the review. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.